All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Murdoch Field here on the beautiful campus of Providence Day School for some varsity baseball between Gaston Day and your Providence Day School Chargers. But right now, we're going to jump right into senior day / night recognitions here. There are 9 seniors on this Providence Day team this year, and that includes number 8, Will Brindley, number 9, Adam Dunave, number 6, Joe Featherston, number 4, Brad Rivera, number 5, Ryan Smith, number 15, Grayson Tappy, number 2, Nicole Fields, number 12, Davis Harry, and number 22, Colin Quinlan, in which you can make an entire starting lineup out of these seniors. And that's most likely what we're going to get today, given that it is senior night, and we'll get more into the details of these seniors throughout the course of the game. So until then, we can just sit back, relax, and watch the seniors get recognized in person on the field, courtesy of our PA announcer, Mr. Paul Santrizos. And after the seniors get recognized, we will also have a very important announcement on the subject of Coach Jim Serby. All right, we are back, everyone, and the seniors have been recognized, and now on the field is headmaster of Providence Day, none other than Dr. Glenn Collishaw, to talk about Coach Jim Serby, who is getting a memorial. He is having the dugout at Murdoch Field named after him, the winningest coach in Providence Day School baseball history. And right now on the field, you can see Dr. Collishaw giving a testament to the great work and development that Coach Serby has put into this baseball program here at Providence Day. And in addition to it being senior night, a very celebratory afternoon here at Murdoch Field, which is just a precursor for what should be a great game between the Spartans of Gaston Day School and your Providence Day School Chargers. And while we have a minute, we want to introduce ourselves. I'm Jonah Weintraub here with the Providence Day Sports Network, a senior, and by my side is none other than Mr. Adam Lawrence, a junior here with the Providence Day Sports Network. We're going to be delivering you tonight's game, and we're excited for this one, aren't we?
Yeah, we're very excited. This is a Charger team coming in today, 4-4 on the season, getting off to a really hot start in conference play, defeating conference rival Charlotte Latin in back-to-back games. Some really good play from the Chargers and clutch hitting in the later innings. But then playing one game last week, getting beat pretty badly by a very, very dangerous, very, very talented Charlotte Christian team. They were hanging in tough for the first few innings, but just a lack of depth on the pitching staff led to the loss there. But today, the number one starter for the Chargers, Grayson Tappy, is out in shortstop today, so we'll have Bo Ziegler on the mound, who's coming into today 2-1. He's had some good pitching so far for the Chargers this year, and we're seeing a very senior-heavy starting lineup for the Chargers today. In fact, every single senior is in the starting lineup except for Joe Featherston, who is out with an arm injury, so he will not be able to play today. As we got guys like Davis Harry and Nickel Fields and Adam Danaev getting starting spots out in the field. Obviously, Nickel Fields is designated hitter, guys who usually don't find themselves in the starting lineup, but they're getting their chance today to prove to Coach Serby that they can hang around on this lineup. And right now we have Athletic Director A.D. Beatty speaking now to dedicate the dugout to Coach Serby. And while we're on the topic of Coach Serby, we'd like to introduce a few fun facts about Coach Serby. He's the oldest of 7. He has 3 brothers and 3 sisters from Long Island, New York, where he would play a lot of stickball in the streets growing up as a kid, and he went to Hoppage High School. He was a 3-sport athlete playing football, track, and baseball.
Yeah, and after that, as I'm going to jump in here, he ended up playing football and baseball at St. Leo University in Florida. He started in center field and was an All-American defensive back in '78. He even received a tryout with the New York Jets as a punter after graduation, and since then he has been at Providence Day for a whopping 34 years, impacting the community after they moved from Houston, Texas for his first job at Charlotte Country Day School. And he worked there for about a year, football, baseball, lower school PE, and then came over to Providence Day, where he still is, and his 2 children, James, and is married to Kelsey, and they live in Utah, and he played Division I baseball at Davidson, and James is a PD alum himself, a graduate in 2008, and Melissa is a teacher at Charlotte Latin School and graduated PD in 2014. So deeply entrenched in Providence Day's DNA is the Serby family. His wife, Mary, has been at Latin for 35 years in the lower school PE department. And a little fun fact that his wife gave us in this testimonial is that he has a hard time saying words like ball with his thick New York accent, as he is from Long Island. And yeah, that's really the long short of it. So that is the man, the coach of the Chargers, Jim Serby, who, as we've mentioned numerous times, is right now on the field getting the dugout at Providence Day's Murdoch Field named after him. A very fitting gesture for Providence Day's coach, and a great start to what should be, as we mentioned, a great game. And while we have a minute up here still, we can get into some season numbers for both these teams. As we mentioned, Providence Day came off a pretty bad loss at the hands of Charlotte Christian, in which they got defeated by a score of 14-3. That being said, Providence Day is still hanging around in conference play. They are 2-1, 4-4 overall, as my partner mentioned up here. And for Gaston Day School, they are coming off a loss as well, 6-2 at the hands of Southlake Christian Academy. And Gaston Day struggling a bit here early in conference play at 1-2 and 2-6 overall. So both these teams looking to rebound here at Murdoch Field, as Coach Serby is delivering his personal statement on having the dugout named after him.
As we have today, we have an honorary first pitch. Coach Serby throwing out the first pitch to the catcher, Colin Quinlan, an honorary first pitch. Not something you see every day here at high school baseball.
Yeah, just a great sign of respect to Coach Zerby and all he's done for both the community here at Providence Day as well as the baseball program, obviously. And with that, the Chargers entering the newly named Jim Serby dugout there in getting ready to get on the field and play some baseball here.
We will turn off our microphones really quickly, and we will, as they announce the starting lineups, we will go through that in a little bit, and we will be back with some baseball in a little bit. Thank you for tuning in today to the Providence Day Sports Network. I'm Adam Lawrence with Jonah Weintraub.
All right, now for the starting lineup is number 22, Aiden Smith. Up next is number 21, and that is Colin Fade.
Starting lineups for the Gaston Day Spartans here. We got at second base, number 5, Zach Clark. Batting second at third base, number 22, Aiden Smith. Playing center field, number 21, batting third, Colin Fayed. Batting fourth, playing shortstop, Jason Johnson. Batting fifth and playing first base, Brett Presley. Batting sixth and playing left field, Charles Halig. Pitching, number 29, Elijah Pomeroy. Batting eighth behind the plate, Holden Page. And number 20, batting ninth, right field, Harrison Johnson. On the mound today for the Chargers, we got sophomore Bo Ziegler making he's the number 2 starter for the Chargers. I believe this is his 4th or 5th start of the year. And leading off for the Spartans, we got Zach Clark, the second baseman. Clark, a right-handed hitter. And he's going to bunt this one down the line. The sophomore knee, the third baseman, will step in there and make the throw over to first place as Ziegler makes quick work of Clark. A nice job by Knee stepping up and getting the play, and Smith getting the quick out. 1 down now in the first. As this one will be lined to right field. First pitch, Aiden Smith will get a first hit. Danaeff is there to get it in quickly, but not before it'll fall down for a base hit. First base runner of the day for the Spartans. Now up for the Spartans, we got Colin Fayed, center fielder, left-handed hitter. The pitch from Ziegler, that'll be in there, looking double play. Tapia will swing it over to 2. Relay from Smith over to first, not in time. So Fayed will get the fielder's choice and will advance to first base, but Smith retired at second now, 2 down here in the first. Now batting Jason Johnson, the shortstop. Again, this Spartans team swinging on their first pitch, all 4 pitches. This time, this one fouled off by Johnson.
Yeah, and you have to assume that, given the Spartans' record here early in the season, they're trying not to lay anything on the line here against Providence Day, as they're trying to come out aggressive here in senior night for Providence Day.
This one will be up in the air into the gap between right center. The senior Harry stepping in, making the play, as that'll be a very quick work from Ziegler. Spartans scoring no runs off of 1 hit, no errors and no runs, as we will be back with the bottom of the second on the Providence Day Sports Network. Alrighty. We're back now leading off here in the bottom of the first for the Chargers. The very versatile senior, Will Brindley. In between pitches. Brindley stepping up here, right-handed batter. He's a very versatile player for the Chargers. He's been playing a lot of first base, but he's also seen some time in the outfield and at second base. As his first pitch, a high breaking ball up there for ball one.
Yeah, and in their last game against Charlotte Christian, Brindley had 3 plate appearances and 2 runs, so his play was a bright spot in what was not very bright game for the Chargers against the Knights down Sardis Road.
As he'll ground this one over to third base. Third baseman will step up, throw it over Smith in time to retire Brindley. 2 pitches in. Now batting for the Chargers, we got center fielder Brad Rivera, senior leader of this Charger team, committed to play baseball for Ursinus College next year.
And Brad Rivera, this is his 4th varsity letter, so he's the lone player on this team to get 4 years of varsity experience, and he is the captain this year as well as a co-conference champion in 2019, so he is well experienced as that first pitch is low for a ball.
This one will be popped up in the gap and around center, in between left and shortstop. Shortstop Johnson will step up and make the play. Now batting for the Chargers, senior Adam Danaev, left fielder, getting one of his few starts out in left field for the Chargers. He's seen a lot of action as a designated hitter for them this year.
Yeah, Danaev in the 3-hole. And this is his first varsity letter, so a big moment here for him on senior night, looking to at least get someone on base here at the bottom of the first as that first pitch looks like it'll be just outside. So with the 1-0 count, Danaev at bat. Pomeroy getting ready to unwind his pitch.
Well, for ball 2. Danaev, a senior, getting his first varsity letter this year. He's had some very big hits for the Chargers, including a couple of extra base hits in their game versus the Knights of Charlotte Christian last week, as that one will be high and outside for ball 3.
We'll see if Coach Serby signals for Danaev to maybe take a hack at this one, or if they'll just play the ball game. And that's going to be a strike, so a 3-1 count against Danaev.
As Danaev will line this one right over towards the second baseman, Clark, who will make the grab, as that'll be it here in the first inning. Chargers getting nothing going, 3 up, 3 down.
Yeah, both teams trading really nice starts to this one. 3 batters up, 3 batters down for both squads as we look to go into the second inning here, and Ziegler will retake a position on the mound when we come back.
No runs. As here we are leading off the top of the second for the Chargers. We got first baseman Brett Presley. Ziegler making quick work of the Spartans in the first inning, only throwing 5 pitches. First pitch will be in there for strike 1. A nice fastball for Ziegler. Good start to the inning.
A bit surprised that Presley didn't swing at that one, given how aggressive that the Spartans have been on the first pitch through the first inning at least.
Swing and miss off the off speed. Another nice pitch. Good job from Ziegler mixing up the speeds at the same location. Definitely full up batters. Third pitch will be in the dirt for ball 1. Again, the Chargers really struggling, especially with their relief pitchers throwing strike 1, throwing a first pitch strike in their game versus the Knights, which really caused them to give up a lot of walks and a lot of hits in long counts, as this one will be outside for ball 2. And the very important for Chargers, especially with having a very shallow pitching staff, to throw strikes early and be able to retire batters without throwing too many pitches. The Chargers aren't exactly a team that can throw out five very good pitchers. I mean, they've got solid guys in their bullpen, but they don't have as deep of a pitching staff as some other teams in the conference. So keeping guys in the game for as long as possible is very key for them, as Presley will ground this one out to the second baseman Smith, who makes a nice scoop and throws it over to first for the out. Now batting for the Spartans, Charles Heelig, the left fielder. Low for ball 1. And Halig's hit. He'll slap this one into right field for a base hit. Second hit of the day for the Spartans. Really tag this one opposite field for a base hit. Now up for the Spartans, Elijah Pomeroy.
Pomeroy is actually on the mound today as well. He is the pitcher who got the quick 3 outs in the bottom of the first. So let's see what he can do at the plate right now with the bat in his hands.
As that one will be low for ball 1.
That one looks, that one looks like it's low again as well. So a quick 2-0 count on Pomeroy.
That'll be a nice hit into the just in no man's land over the glove of Smith. Rivera quick in there to pick it up and get the ball back in, keeping Halig from advancing the third, but back-to-back base hits now, putting an interesting threat up here for Holden Page, the catcher, with a runner in scoring position situation here.
Yeah, and with 1 out, a lot of options here for Page at bat. You want to see if he can advance these runners in any way, shape, or form. So let's see if Ziegler can hold his own here with the numbers against him.
Ziegler's pitch, a breaking ball outside for ball 1. A little bit of movement from Halig on second base, as this pitch will be fouled back. 1-1 now.
Yeah, and as you mentioned right there, Halig really looking like he's threatening to run to third and try to steal that base. Neither of these teams really steal a lot of bases. Providence Day with 9 on the year. The Spartans with 12 of their own, which is both far below the national average. So let's see if they're just calling a bluff right here.
be grounded towards the third baseman. Knee. Chargers looking to turn two. A fantastic play by Knee, turning it over to Smith with the nice relay back over to first. That'll retire the side for the Spartans. A very nice play.
Yeah, the 5-4-3, getting the pitcher, getting Ziegler out of that sticky situation right there. And with that, we'll enter the bottom of the second inning. Still zeros on the scoreboard.
Yeah, no runs off of 2 hits, no walks, and no errors as we head to the bottom of the second. This game's still tied at 0. And leading off for the Chargers here in the bottom of the second, we got catcher Colin Quinlan. A very fast start to today's game already in the bottom of the second. As Quinlan will take this one up high.
And Quinlan, once again, is one of the more tenured people on this Providence Day baseball team. This is his 3rd varsity letter. It is for Quinlan. It is, as the senior catcher now, looking to start the inning off strong for Providence Day.
Colin Quinlan playing a huge role in this Charger program in the past few years, really stepping up as the backup catcher behind former Charger catcher Colin Raven, who's now playing baseball at Denison. So as Quinlan takes ball 3 here, and Quinlan really learning from Raven and getting some good backup catcher experience, so getting thrown in on varsity while still getting some playing time down at JV really helped him develop into a fantastic catcher. As we've seen in some games earlier this year, he's thrown out plenty of guys behind the plate, including some very fast runners from Charlotte Christian, as that'll be a walk, first base runner of the day for the Chargers. And Tyler Nee, the third baseman, up for the Chargers.
And Nee right now, the lone underclassman in this batting rotation. Ziegler is on the mound, but of course he's not up at the plate right now. And Nee plays with experience beyond his years. He's a very good player for the Chargers, and he was the one at the bottom of the top of the second inning who was able to turn that double play and get the Chargers off the field when they were in a little bit of a predicament with 2 runners on base.
Fantastic base running from Shannon Goodwin, courtesy runner for Quinlan, a very speedy runner for the Chargers, getting some bench time, the freshman, only freshman on varsity, as he'll step up and get the stolen base. As Nee will slap this one opposite field, the right fielder unable to make the play. Goodwin will head over to third, the relay, not even the relay home. Will not get Goodwin as Chargers have runners on the corners, no outs after that Tyler Nee base hit.
And partner, you think they're worried about Goodwin's speed because they just relayed that all the way to home even though he wasn't even looking to get there.
And now batting for the Chargers, senior shortstop Grayson Tappy. Tappy will swing at this first pitch. It'll be up in the air. Catcher looking over to make the play, but that'll be just on the other side of the backstop. So 0-1 now for Tappy. Relay back to try and pick off knee at first base, unsuccessful. And Grayson Tappy, very big role on this for the Chargers this year as their #1 pitcher. Having a good year on the mound, but he'll line this one down the line. That'll be a fair ball. Goodwin will score easily. Knee on his high horse. He will round third, the relay home. Third baseman's gonna hold and miss the play as Grayson Tappy, a fantastic double down the line, will score two and get the Chargers on the board this ball game.
Yeah, that was just an excellent swing right down the left field line from Tappy, as you noted, and good base running by the Chargers to know that it was very far away from the left fielder, and the relay at the high school level at least very rarely is going to get back there in time. So 2 runs batted in on that double from Tappy, and a great start to the bottom of the second inning here for Providence Day. And Tappy's a primary pitcher, as you were stating, so good job for a pitcher.
Yeah, and also worth noting, Tyler Nee scoring from first. Great base running, great job getting his horse. I could see here from up top, he was really flying around third there. And overall, a fantastic play, right what the Chargers needed here in their first real offensive threat of the game, as senior Ryan Smith steps up here, the second baseman. As that'll be inside for ball 1. Worth noting about Ryan Smith here, this is his first varsity letter. However, last year he was unable to play on the Charger team after recovering from Tommy John surgery. Now, it is not every day that you see a high school player getting Tommy John surgery. Smith used to be a big pitcher, pitched a lot in his middle school and JV days, but after getting Tommy John, we're seeing him mostly at second base. As that should be a balk now. The pitcher Pomeroy, weird, they're unable to release the ball, tripping off the mound as Tappy will advance over to third.
Yeah, and while Ryan Smith is up at plate, it's worth mentioning that he's looking to change pace from his last game against Charlotte Christian, in which he was unable to even get on base, let alone score a run. So an atypical night from one of the Chargers' steadying presences. So we'll see if he can improve upon that right now, as he has a very favorable count and is able to get the walk, and he'll be on first base. So runners on the corners here with 2 runs in the inning. So good work by the Chargers to once again get in scoring position.
Runners on the corners, still no outs here. Really unfortunate inning for Pomeroy now, almost tripling his pitch count here. Now up for the Chargers, we got senior right fielder Davis Harry. This is, I believe, one of Harry's first or second appearances in the field for the Chargers. Just been getting a lot of relief pitching attempts. Do we have stats for Davis Harry's hitting so far this year?
Yeah, we'll look at that right here in our little composite book, and we'll get back to you on that. But as you were stating, he does have very limited experience at bat this year. Davis Harry has played in 5 games and has only 1 plate appearance, and nothing really came out of that. He didn't get a hit, so.
And time will be called. The umpire going over to speak with the Spartans head coach, Chris Carrera. Curious as to what they're talking about, but Chargers calling as Harry will step back in, the 8-hitter.
And really, this is prime position for the Chargers to build upon their lead, given that there are no outs and they're nearing the top of the order again. If they can get through with Harry as he hits that one into left field, and that one is way gone.
Tagged by Harry. That'll make it all the way to the fence. The relay in from the left fielder. Halig will be not in time to third base. Davis Harry getting his first hit of the year on senior night. The senior's really showing up today. He'll be into second base with a stand-up double as Tappy will make it over to third, obviously trying to be careful. Tappy will stay at third, obviously trying to be a little careful with the Halig potentially catching that. But again, another fantastic hit for the Chargers. Actually, my mistake. Smith will make it over to third. Tappy will score easily as Chargers now lead this one 3-0 now.
And you think Davis is a fan favorite? You could hear the lacrosse team that looks situated in the left corner of the field by the back fence. They were cheering it up, and so was the newly named dugout after Coach Jim Serby. They were getting pretty excited too for their senior teammate, as looks like the Spartans are going to have to converse, everyone meeting at the mound here, and with proper reasoning, because this inning has been not kind, to say the least, to Gaston Day.
Yeah, Pomeroy now up to 21 pitches now on the day. Now batting for the Chargers, Nickel Fields. Not a guy we've seen much in a baseball uniform for the Chargers. Obviously, a very, very good running back for the Chargers. The starting varsity running back for all 4 of his high school years. This is his first year on the baseball program. Getting, I believe, his first at-bat ever. As he will take second pitch high for ball 2.
Well, according to our database, he has 2 at-bats on the season, which is probably more than both you and I thought he had, but he does have 1 run, actually. Most likely as a base runner, given his foot speed as he takes the third ball. And yeah, you're used to seeing him on the football field, not the baseball field, as you were mentioning. And
Charger dugout very loud for this at-bat. They're rooting for Nickel here. Fan favorite and team favorite among the guys.
We'll see with the 3-0 count if he takes a swing at this one. And
he'll take that for strike 1. Obviously not worth swinging at that with runners on the bases. Not worth wasting, potentially wasting an at-bat, swinging at a pitch it's not yours, as he will take a big hack at that one, swinging for the fences there. He'll swing and miss. Now we got a 3-2 count now.
Yeah, great job by Pomeroy working himself back into this count. He was down 3-0, and you know, you can be a little bit more lax pitching to a player that doesn't have that batting experience, as Nickel fouls that one away to keep the at-bat alive.
Again, good job from Fields keeping the count alive, fouling this one off, extending Pomeroy's pitch count. A pitch will be outside, and Fields is on base. A nice job getting the 7-pitch walk now, as the Chargers now have the bases loaded, going back to their leadoff hitter, Will Brindley.
Yeah, and if you're the Chargers, you have to feel pretty good about where you are right now. Bases loaded, no outs. You're top of the order coming up right here. The last thing you want to do is get a double play, but even if they do, I mean, not the end of the world, as the Spartans are having to converge at the mound once again, as this is a pivotal time early in this one after a very speedy first inning for both teams. The Spartans now in a bit of a predicament here. As we mentioned, no outs, all bases loaded, and to make matters worse, the best batters in the Providence Day lineup, 1, 2, 3, right up. And if the inning goes on, we'll see Quinlan and Nee step up again.
It looks like we will be having a pitching change here. I figured that would happen as high school. In high school, the rule is you're only allowed 1 mound visit per inning. So I believe you are, in addition to pitching changes. So I figured once I saw Coach Carrera of the Spartans step out there, I'd be seeing a new pitcher. I believe this is number 5, the leadoff hitter, Zach Clark, coming into pitch, as we will step back after the pitching change here on the Providence Day Sports Network. Chargers lead this one 3-0 in the bottom of the second. And we are back now. Clark on the mound for the Chargers. I believe Pomeroy shifting over to second base now. Up to bat Will Brindley. He would ground out to the third baseman to start off the game, as Chargers really looking to capitalize. Bases loaded. Still no outs here in the second.
Yeah, we'll see if Clark is able to stop the bleeding right here. And he's given a tall task, as you mentioned. Not necessarily the best place to come in as a relief pitcher. Pomeroy shifted to second base, which is where Clark started, so those two shifting positions. In the first pitch, a swing and a miss, so a nice start there.
Much faster delivery now from Clark, seeing his first pitch now, as Brindley will just swing and miss off of that first one. So that will be inside, 1-1 now to Brindley.
Yeah, try to get him with the off speed right there. As you can see, much softer delivery, but Brindley would not bite on that. One good eye from the leadoff man for the Chargers.
Looking back at Pomeroy's stats today, he threw 27 pitches, no strikeouts, 3 walks, and 3 hits, giving up 3 runs, and is responsible for all 3 of the Charger runners on base right now in 1+ innings. Brindley will ground this one up the middle, will take a step off the mound. An interesting, nice play from the from the Spartans to get out. Fields at second. A nice flip to the shortstop, Johnson, who will barehand it and try and make the throw over to first. Not in time to retire. Unable to retire Brindley, who will go down with a fielder's choice. The Chargers will score 1. But a nice play from the Spartans to manage to get an out here and get closer to getting out of the bad inning for them.
Yeah, definitely not worst case scenario. Obviously, you don't want to give up the run right there, but given that the bases were loaded, it's semi-inevitable at this point if there was a ball in the field of play. So got the tag at second and almost got it at first for that classic 4-3-2 double play.
Now pitching to Brad Rivera, who would pop out to the shortstop in the first inning. He'll foul this one off for strike 1. Do we have a number on Brad Rivera's stats this year? I remember last seeing hitting around the 250 mark.
Yeah, he's actually a little bit below that at 200, so not necessarily the best batting average for him, but he is, once again, one of the better Chargers at the plate. He has 29 plate appearances and 7 runs.
As he will pop this one over the shortstop, tailing over. He'll drop it. Brindley hustling over to second base. Throw will take Pomeroy off the bag, as Rivera getting a little lucky there, who will get on with an error, as the Chargers, Davis Harry will score from third base. Now 5-0 Chargers. Still 1 down. Really, really unfortunate series of events there for the Spartans. Instead of looking 1 out, instead of being only 1 out away from getting out of the inning, now still only 1 down, a run scoring, and another base runner for the Chargers. Be outside for ball 1 to Dunaev, who would line out to the second baseman in the first inning.
That's going to be a strike call right there, so a 1-1 count against Dunaev, as once again there are runners on first and second, as it's Brindley and Rivera.
This one will be inside for ball 2. Worth mentioning, today's beautiful weather out here in Charlotte, North Carolina, here at Murdoch Baseball Field for the Chargers. Not a cloud in the sky, temperatures reaching up in the 80s. A little bit of wind here. Great weather for some baseball today.
Yeah, definitely baseball weather, partner. It's spring officially, but you never know with Charlotte. Good thing that there's no rain today, as that one is swung at by Dunaev, and it'll be a foul ball. So a great way, given that Providence Day was out of class today, no school, for these guys to settle back into the groove of things before the short week. And they've been off for about a week. And in fact, this is their first game in 7 days, so the Chargers, that is. So I'm sure they're happy to be back here at Murdoch Field for senior night.
Oh, and that'll hit Dunaev. He seems to be a little shaken up from that. He's going to have to take some time to capture, and Coach Jim Serby going to walk over to him to check him out as he will hustle down to first base. Good work from him. As every single Charger in the lineup has gotten on base somehow or another, only the second inning, as they have completely batted around this inning, as Colin Quinlan, who led off this inning with a walk, scoring the Chargers' first run, is now up at the plate.
Yeah, and that hit by pitch right there is an actual killer for the Spartans, given that it was a 2-2 count, so a favorable count for Clark in the pitcher's mound, and it was a chance to get a easier out. And now, once again, the bases are loaded with one of the Chargers' better deep ball hitters on the mound. The lone home run for the Chargers this year came from Colin Quinlan, so definitely the most powerful batter in this lineup, and just who you don't want to see at the plate if you're Clark and you have bases loaded with only that one out. And that's a quick 2-0 count against Quinlan, so a walk here would obviously give the Chargers another run. And that's going to be a strike. A nice pitch by Clark right there to get back into count a little. It's 2-1 on Quinlan. And just like that, it's 2-2. So a nice pair of pitches right there from Zach Clark in relief of Pomeroy here in the bottom of the second. Providence Day has amassed a 5-0 lead as it's now full count. That pitch just outside. And a really big pitch right here for both teams. Looking to stop the bleeding here. And that'll be foul, so good job by Quinlan to keep the at-bat alive.
Quinlan swinging for the fences there, looking to get his second home run of the year. With that swing, as he'll step in here with a full count again. So he will pop this one again out of play. Now remember, back in my baseball days, Coach Serby would have had a piece of paper in the Charger dugout with a list of what he deemed a quality at-bat. Now obviously a base hit or a walk or any sort of getting on base was a quality at-bat, or getting like a sacrifice bunt or a fielder or a sacrifice fly. But also another one that struck out to me was a 8+ pitch at bat as Quinlan will tag this one into the gap. That'll reach the fence.
Looks like 3 runners are going to be able to score for the Chargers.
Brindley will score, Rivera will score, and even Dunaev will score as Colin Quinlan with a bases clearing stand-up double for the Chargers as the Spartans cannot get a break. As the score now reads 8-0 Chargers.
And ironically enough, after the first inning, we were talking up here in the booth during break about, oh, that went by pretty fast. That was like 3 batters up, 3 batters down for both squads. And here we are now with the Chargers leading by 8 runs in the bottom of the second. And up at bat is Tyler Nee with Quinlan on second. And still only 1 out. So just a nightmarish inning for the Spartans.
Be inside for ball 1. Nee getting the Chargers' first hit of the day earlier in the inning.
And that one's outside for ball 2. So already now with only 1 runner in scoring position, unfavorable count for Clark.
Fun fact, there's still only one out in this inning.
Yeah, it's been a lengthy one to say the least, partner, as that looks like it'll be ball 3, so not getting any shorter.
Obviously, now with the Chargers up 8 runs, we're starting to look at mercy rule territory. Of course, the mercy rule only comes in effect after 5 innings. So, with the Chargers getting another base runner on, Tyler Nee, again, a great senior night for them. But, again, the Chargers looking to potentially get the mercy rule here, but we will have to complete, I guess, 4.5 innings for that to happen.
And now back up at bat for the second time this inning is Grayson Tappy. And if you remember, his first at bat was a nice hit down the left field line, and he was able to get on second base and bring in a runner, if I'm not mistaken. So looking to continue his success at the plate from earlier this inning as he is faced with a 1-0 count.
That'll be outside for ball 2. As Tappy will pop this one up, the first baseman Presley shading over, trying to make a play, unable.
So with the 2-1 count, Tappy still at the plate, looking to extend this Chargers run here in the bottom of the second. And going back to what you were saying about Coach Serbian, the quality at bats, yeah, for sure, the 8+ pitch at bat serves your team even with an out, getting all that arm action going for the pitcher, and at the same time hanging in there as Tappy takes a chunk of that one, and it'll drop down in right field. One runner will score, and it looks like Nee will stop at third. So another RBI for Tappy, as there are now runners on the corners for the Chargers, and still only one out in what has been an eternal inning for Gaston Day.
Yep, 9-0 now for the Chargers with runners on the corners, still one out. We could potentially be seeing another pitching change for the Spartans. Oh, yep, calling in the right fielder, Johnson. Harrison Johnson, the senior.
Not to be confused with the shortstop, Jason Johnson, who started off this game. And really, Coach Carrera for Gaston Day really trying to do whatever he can to get out of this inning somehow. It has been all Providence Day, and they are seeing, well, the baseball that is, looks quite large to them right now in the batter's box. Every single player on this team really, really holding their own at bat. And
yeah, oh, Harrison Johnson's first pitch way high in the warm-up. And we will be back after the pitcher warm-up. Worth noting, Clark stepping in here throwing 24 pitches, no strikeouts, 2 walks, 3 hits, an error, meaning that none of the runs he surrendered were earned runs, giving up 3 runs total. And we will be back with Harrison Johnson on the mound for the Spartans, still 1 down in the bottom of the second. Chargers lead this one 9-0. Now batting for the Chargers, we got Ryan Smith after Tappy's RBI single. That's his third RBI of the game. I guess Tappy is halfway to a cycle, obviously getting the two easiest parts of it, but a fantastic start at the plate for him today.
And Smith, it looks like, swung a little at that pitch, so it'll be a strike. Probably would have been a strike anyways. It looked like it was pretty center.
As the Spartans will look to turn a double play. Oh, and another unfortunate break for the Spartans. The relay to turn the double play goes in the dirt. First baseman Presley unable to pick it up, so the Chargers will score one more run. Now 10-0. Tapia will be out at second as Smith on board from a fielder's choice / error.
And once again, that's just an absolute killer for the Spartans, as they were inches away from getting out of this inning at least somewhat alive, and now it's a double-digit lead that is piled up for Providence Day and what has been a dominant inning, to put it simply.
Swing and a miss. Harry will swing at that one.
And Harry's
Strike
first at-bat was possibly the highlight of this game for the Chargers. He slapped one into far left field and was able to bring home multiple runs earlier in this inning in what was only his third at-bat of the entire season. So all the seniors stepping up for the Chargers today, as he'll take another hack at that one.
2-0-2 now to Harry. Is Johnson doing a good job getting to work here?
In correction, actually,
2-1.
It's a 1-2.
1-2 count.
So Spartans flirting with the way to get out of this inning, and it looks like they will. A strike right down the middle. Harry sat on it, and with that, the second inning has finally come to a close.
That's the first strikeout of the game for the Spartans. And believe it or not, we made it out of the inning as we head to the top of the third. Chargers scoring 10 runs off of a lot of hits, a couple errors, and a lot of walks. We will be back with the start of the third inning. Ziegler on the mound for the Chargers, and Harrison Johnson, the now pitcher, leading off for the Spartans.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We are at the top of the third inning here. We didn't think we'd get here at some points, given the length of that second inning, but here we are, and Harrison Johnson now at bat for the Spartans. He'll swing at that pitch, and it'll go foul.
Johnson's first at bat of the day. Johnson's first at bat of the day. Now on the mound for the Spartans, as the count is now 0-1 to him. 2-1. Not getting the call, so now 3-1 to him. as he will get the base hit. Spartans getting their 4th hit of the day.
And now the top of the order coming back up for the Spartans. That's that's Zach Clark, the second baseman, at bat now, looking to spark plug some sort of comeback inning because the Gaston Day is down 10 here at the top of the third. They do have now a runner, Harrison Johnson, on first, and that first pitch is going to be inside, it looks like.
Yeah, that will be. He would bunt, try and bunt in the first inning. That'll be a ball, 1-0 count. Interesting for the Chargers, some defensive substitutions. We got Cody Gallos back. Gallos unable to make the play, as that'll be a single for the Spartans. Interesting play there. Gallos unable to make the play, as we now see Aiden Smith at bat for the Spartans.
And partner, you think it's a little interesting. I mean, that ball could have been caught by Gallows perhaps, but you're down 10. You wonder why the Spartans weren't maybe a little bit more aggressive in their base running there.
Yeah.
Is that deep fly only turned into a single, and especially given that the runner on first originally only got 2 seconds, so nevertheless 2 runners on base for the Spartans. Colin Fade at bat.
Low for ball 1.
Excuse me, that might be Aiden Clark.
Yeah, low for ball 3, my mistake. Swing and a miss. 2-1 count. Aiden Smith at bat for the Spartans. This will be grounded down the line. Smith at third base, the relay over to first, and a clean double play from the Chargers. That conservative base runner really coming back to hurt them there, as still 2 outs down. 2 outs now, runner on third, but another big break for Ziegler on the mound, as Ryan Smith, in our defensive substitution, he'll move over to third. Danaeff will move over to second, and Tyler Nee will exit the game. I wonder if Coach Sherby plans on putting him out on the mound or if he's nursing an injury or something like that, but that'll be caught by the pitcher Ziegler to get out of the inning, and just like that, Chargers getting out of the inning unscathed, still leading this one 10-0. Jonah?
Yeah, that really difficult double play that was executed by Ryan Smith at third base, the 5-4-3, really precipitated that inning kind of turning around for the Chargers. At first they had 2 base runners in the deep hit for the Spartans, and just like that, that double play completely turns the tide, and the next at bat, lo and behold, it's a pop fly, and as we saw just there, Bo Ziegler able to secure that one for the 3rd out, and the Chargers make a lot quicker work of the Spartans than the Spartans made of them in that previous half inning, and we'll head to the bottom of the 3rd and see if Providence Day can keep their hot bats going. Adam, you have a summary of that inning, I believe.
Yeah, no runs for the Chargers, for the Spartans off of 1 hit, no walks, and off of 2 hits, no walks, no errors, and we'll be back at the bottom of the 3rd. Nickel Fields leading off this inning for the Chargers. He would get on base with a walk in the second. Chargers looking to carry on their offensive success here in the third.
And partner, I would not be surprised if coach maybe takes the reins off Nickel a little here. No outs, obviously, no runners on base as well, given that it's the first at-bat of the new inning. And you wonder if coach is going to let him try to take a few hacks at pitches if they're in the strike zone. Looks like that'll be a ball, so a 1-0 count early on Fields, who, as you mentioned, got on base via a walk in the second inning. It's a 1-all count right now. That pitch was a strike. Nice one right there by Johnson.
High for ball two. Fields. It's a very, very strong swing. He can really swing the bat. We'll see if he can make contact, because I believe that if he can make solid contact, he can hit it deep into the gap. So that'll be low for ball three, I believe.
Yeah, I believe that is correct. So with the full count right now, let's see who wins this one as Fields takes a big swing at that one, as you were mentioning. And
take it back. It was a 2-2 count, or 3-2, as Fields will strike out. As Will Brindley steps up his third at-bat in the same amount of innings, as he is 0 for 2 on the day, or 0 for 1 on the day, with a ground out to the second baseman to the third baseman in the first, and a fielder's choice in the second. So he will foul this first pitch off back, 0-1 to him.
And a much better start to this inning for the Spartans than the last, getting that strikeout against Fields. That being said, that invites the top of the lineup to come back up for the Chargers, and we'll see that right here with the one hitter, and that's Brindley. And it's a 1-1 count right now after that ball and the foul on the first pitch. So Brindley, as you mentioned, having a semi-productive day. Makes contact with that one, and it is right into the glove of the left fielder. And with 2 quick outs to start off this inning, a big change in pace for the Spartans, who got really torn apart in the bottom of the second, that is, to the tune of 10 runs, and now Brad Rivera is up at bat with no runners on base and 2 outs, and he'll take a swing at that one. It goes into right field, and a quick inning for the Spartans, a nice turnaround after that disastrous bottom of the second. And with that, we will now enter the 4th inning of action here. Providence Day still up 10-0, but a much more hasty set of at-bats right there for Providence Day.
Yep, 3 up, 3 down. No runs for the Chargers. We'll head to the top of the 4th. Chargers still to lead this one, 10-0. Now batting for the for the Spartans, we got Jason Johnson. As he will line this one first pitch for a base hit. Yet another hit for the Spartans off of Ziegler. They've really been hitting him up, but just unable to drive those runs home. That is their 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is their 6th hit of the day, but still nothing to show for it.
And a lot of those have been the byproduct of being aggressive on the first pitch. And right there, out of the mid-inning, and Ziegler gets his first one off, and it's hit once again. So, as you were saying, just not able to connect the dots. The Spartans are early in this one, whereas the Chargers have been firing on all cylinders, especially with runners on base, whereas the Spartans have kind of flopped like a fish almost in that sense.
Like a fish.
Yeah, like a... Well,
Oh, Quinlan's arm, a fantastic throw. Not in time to get the speedy Johnson, but worth noting, Quinlan has had multiple throwouts this series, thrown out many guys. A very strong arm, a little bit inconsistent, but usually a very strong arm.
Yeah, and I was going to say, on the subject of fishing, that was one of our little trivia points about Coach Serby. He does go fishing up in Massachusetts, I believe,
In
with his
Maine
dear
every year.
friend, with Brick Smith, history teacher at Providence Day as well. So 2 legends in their own right on the campus here at Providence Day.
Yeah.
So everything ties back to everything. So
Mr. Brick Smith used to coach alongside with Jim Serby, retiring due to some health issues a few years back. But some good base running there from Johnson, getting to third off of the ball in the dirt. Another good throw by Quinlan just behind. But yes, Coach Serby, huge fisherman that loves that fishing trip to Maine every year. And it's going to be swung on and missed by Presley, is it?
yeah, I believe so. And what Coach Serby can't be loving on like that trip has to be the little bit of lackadaisical energy that's being played with here in the top of the 4th, as there have been 2, well, not one stolen base and then 1 error that led to the runner getting on third, and that one is slapped to the second baseman and right into the mitt of none other than Will Brinley, number 8, the senior. So that's 1 out for the Chargers, and
That would be 2 down. 2 down.
excuse me.
Presley struck out.
And with that, that gives the Spartans their first run of the game.
10-1 now, so the mercy rule no longer in play here. Obviously, still another inning for that to change, but 1-0 count now to Halig. He is 1 for 1 on the game, singling in the second inning.
And you know, it's interesting, as you were mentioning earlier, and we alluded to, this Gaston Day team is not necessarily playing poor on the offensive side of the ball. They have gotten a decent number of hits on Ziegler and have had runners in good positions on the bases, but just unable to really capitalize on those opportunities. And when your pitching squad is allowing 10 runs through 2 innings, you kind of need some offensive output in that sense. So the scoreboard doesn't necessarily indicate how steady, at least, this Spartans team has played with when batting.
It'll be down for ball 4. I believe that's Ziegler's first walk of the game. Pretty impressive, going 44 pitches into the game, 4 innings in, only 1 walk. The Spartans now have another base runner here.
And I believe that Pomeroy is now at bat for...
That was Pomeroy, who just walked. Now we have Holden Page, the catcher, who would ground into a 5-4-3 double play in the first, as he will swing and miss on this one. 0-1.
And once again, with the runner on first, that double play is very possible, given that that is the positioning of the runners for the Spartans, and he'll take a big swing at that one. That'll be a strike.
Quinlan checking down to first base there. Pomeroy seemed to be sleeping a little bit, getting back to the bag. A little bit late on that, but an interesting attempt from Quinlan. Unfortunate that will hit Page after getting up 0-2 in the count. As Spartans have a couple runners on for Harrison Johnson, who's 1 for 1 on the day with a single.
Yeah, and this is a big at-bat for the Spartans because if Harrison Johnson is able to get on base or at least get on base, maybe drive a runner or two in, that would bring up the top of the order again for Gaston Day. So a pivotal at-bat and a big swing and a miss right there on the first pitch, 0-1 against Harrison Johnson.
Be high for ball 1. Be in there for a strike. As this one will be up in the air. Play will be made by Ziegler. Bucket catch to end the inning. Chargers only giving up 1 run here. We head to bottom of the 4th, 10-1. Chargers.
Yeah, that was a big moment right there in this game and in the development of a pitcher like Bo Ziegler. I mean, underclassman right there. Coach Serby putting the trust in him not to go and have a discussion at the mound, really putting faith in his pitcher to close out that inning. And right there with 2 runners on base, able to secure the deal, and the Chargers will get out of that inning after flirting with some possible offensive production from the Spartans, and just like that, Providence Day will be back up to bat.
Yep, 1 run for the Spartans off of 1 hit, a couple walks, and no errors, as we will be back in the bottom of the 4th. Chargers lead this one by 9.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are now in the
bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, the bottom of the 4th right here, as number 9, Adam Dunave, is up at bat in the 3 hole for the Chargers. He's had a pretty successful day, but that being said, so has most of the Chargers lineup, especially at bat. Dunave looking to start things off in this inning well for the Chargers, but he'll take a swing at that one and miss, so that's strike 1 against Dunave.
Yeah, Dunave having a good year hitting for the Chargers, having a couple of big extra base hits in the game versus Christian, getting an RBI single earlier in this one. So he will slap this one towards the shortstop, Johnson, unable to make the play, as Dunave will be on board with an error on the shortstop. So now hitting Colin Quinlan, who's 1 for 1 on the day with that massive double to the gap. And he's got a runner on here.
Yeah, interestingly enough, there have been multiple errors on the part of the Spartans today, but on the season they have a higher fielding percentage than the Chargers at 92.7%, whereas the Chargers are just 92. It's interesting to see the disparity here today, in which the Spartans look a little bit more skittish when the ball is coming their way, and it's played to the tune of some opportune situations for the Chargers, just like that one where Dunave is able to sneak on to first base as a testament to the misfield by the shortstop right there.
Looks like Channing Goodwin will be on as a courtesy runner for Dunaev, which means we will probably see Dunaev on the mound for next inning.
And now that Goodwin is on base, you got to be a little bit
Very
conscious.
concerned about
Yeah,
the
you got to be
steal.
conscious about his speed. Once again, he's on this team as a freshman for a reason, and while the batting and the fielding skills come later, you can't teach that pure athleticism. So the speed on the bases is pivotal, and you bet that the Spartans are going to be very, very concerned with that.
Yep, we got the Dunaev warming up in the bullpen there for the Chargers as they will look over to first base to pick off Goodwin, not in time. In there for a strike. 0-1 now to Quinlan.
And you know, partner, ever since Johnson came into the game for the Spartans at pitcher position, he has actually held his own a lot better than the previous two that were on the mound for Gaston Day. So let's see if he's able to continue that success from the previous inning and try to keep this game not necessarily within reach right now, but at least make sure that the Chargers don't mercy rule him.
1-1 count now. It'll be a lone outside for ball one. Be popped up, that'd be just foul. Now 1-2 count. It'll be bouncing over to the newly named Jim Serby home dugout. As Johnson looking to record his third strikeout of the game here on Quinlan.
Quinlan hanging in tough on this at bat, which he did last time, and it ended up resulting in that big hit into all right, so excuse us, we just had a little bit of an issue up here in the booth. It is a bit windy out here in the Charlotte area, but we are back, and with that, Colin Quinlan able to get onto first base. Goodwin advances to second on the walk, and just like that, Tyler Neat is back up at the plate looking to continue the Chargers' hot bats through this game and his own personally, as he has batted in a couple of runners today. That looks like it's going to be a strike, which it will be, so an 0-1 count against Nee.
Correction, this is Cody Gallos, bat subbing into the game. I believe Nee was subbed out as Serby wanted to keep the seniors in the game, keep Dunaev and Smith in the game, but give Gallos some time in the outfield as he'll swing and miss on strike two. If you hear any music running through our headphones here, it's the warm-up music for our Charger girls soccer team, varsity girls soccer team, warming up for their game tonight. They are, according to Max Preps, ranked #1 in the country for the spring girls soccer season. They're a very good team.
Yeah, and if you haven't gone through the PDS Sports Network to look at them play, courtesy of the Dixons, Mr. Dixon and his wife, they are a very talented team with a lot of future college players on there. So Providence Day, not just pigeonholed into one sport, let alone two, as we actually have a softball game going on adjacent to the baseball game right now. So 3 big contests going on here at Providence Day's campus, and Providence Day Sports Network, unfortunately, we had to pick and choose here today on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon, as
choosing to stream the senior night for the baseball team. But yeah, worth noting about that girls soccer team, 4 Division I recruits plus a lot of underclassmen who are definitely going to see D1 offers. I believe the entire starting forward line are all D1 bound. I've got a Georgia recruit, a Penn recruit, Kentucky recruit, Elon recruit, plus many more to come. Very, very talented program that head coach Dan Dudley has produced here. But back to the baseball game, 2-2 count to Cody Gallows here. It'll be in there for a strike. My mistake is that's 2-2 count now. 1-2 count. My mistake. This is Grayson Tappy up now. Gallus was retired, so 2-2 count to Tappy. Be popped up in there. Second baseman Clark will make the play, getting the putout. As 2 down now in the second, now batting for the Chargers, Ryan Smith, who is 0 for 1 on the day with a walk and a run in the second.
Yeah, with 2 outs and 2 runners on base, 1 in scoring position, this is a very pivotal moment in this contest for Gaston Day, as they can escape here without allowing any runs, as Smith fouls that first 1-0-1 count on him. It could be a nice momentum boost because, as we mentioned, the offense for Gaston Day has not been that lackluster. It's just an issue of getting runners on home base and able to score when in position. So we'll see if tides can change a little bit, but that has to start right now with Johnson on the mound facing Smith. This one is hit to the shortstop and to first base. That one will be out, so a nice way to close up that inning for Gaston Day, and really way to get out of there unscathed. So we'll head to Providence Days being back on defense, and we'll see in what we believe to be up here a pitching change in which Adam Junafe may be coming into the game for Bo Ziegler, and
Looks like we will be seeing that right now.
yeah, so maybe a little bit of extra time will be granted in between this inning. So we have a summary of the last one.
Yep, we'll be back. No runs for the Chargers off of no hits, an error, and a walk. And we'll be back. Chargers leading this one 10-1, so the mercy rule no longer in play here in the top of the 5th. Obviously, they could potentially score those runs in the bottom of the 5th, but we will be back with another full inning of baseball here at the Providence State Sports Network. Chargers lead this one. And we are back now here, top of the fifth, leading off for the Spartans. Harrison leading off for the Spartans. Clark, who will take this one in the dirt for ball one. Adam Danaeff on the mound now.
And partner, we were talking between the inning about how this is in a way an unofficial save situation for Danaeff, given the mercy rule. If Providence Day is able to hold the Spartans scoreless in this one.
Not quite.
Not quite. But then get one more run in the bottom, then it could be a pseudo walk-off situation. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Just discussing the various outcomes as Danaeff working with the 1-2 count. So a nice start there on the mound for the senior relief pitcher. And Bo Ziegler giving the Chargers some good innings here. Only one run allowed.
Foul ball, 1-2 count. Now, yeah, Bo Ziegler having a fantastic showing here for the Chargers. Again, giving up 6 hits, a couple walks, but 6 hits and a couple walks, but again, a solid 4 innings of work, only 1 run allowed, and that's really all you can ask for is that one will be fouled off, a second foul ball in a row. Now, Clark still in this count, only 1-2, but already facing 5 pitches.
Yeah, so a way to hold in there right now for Clark, but Danaeff doing a good job of getting the ball in the strike zone at least. Sooner or later, that is most likely going to result in something positive for the Chargers as the count goes to 2-2. That one flirting with the dirt.
Drop, third strike, opportunity. Quinlan's throw down to first, not in time, so the Spartans will get a base runner off of the strikeout. Interesting. Appeared just a little bit like it was foul tip, but nope, that'll be a drop, third strike, and the Spartans have a base runner.
And yeah, wait for Clark to recognize that right there, that Quinlan was unable to secure that pitch, and he was sprinting to first base, and then it resulted in that base runner. So very heady play right there from the starting second baseman for the Spartans. As
that'll be in the dirt or up high for ball one. Aiden Smith up. He is 1 for 2 on the day. Nice throw by Quinlan, but a little in the dirt, unable to make the play is number 3, Bo Ziegler over at second base as Tappy will back him up. A great jump by Clark to get over to second base, take away the double play.
So with a 2-1 count now, Danaeff trying to get back into this one. Runner on second, and that one is fouled
down the line.
That was close. That was flirting with
the
white
close.
line.
That looked in play.
And that hit right there, that would have resulted in a run scored for the Spartans. So just inches away right there. Lucky break for Providence Day. Count now all evened up at 2, and a big pitch coming up here from Danaeff.
Just like to point out how beautiful the grass is on this field here for the Chargers. Perfectly manicured by the maintenance team here, the facilities team. They always do a great job, but this year it just looks fantastic.
Yeah, I have to agree completely. Then it's almost inspiring me to start the Providence Day Landscaping Network, but
oh yeah, this is wonderful, divine grass. The patterns on it, especially with a year off, giving the facilities crew almost an entire spring season off last year, just giving the team a fresh start, and obviously fantastic work by Danaeff. Great play to catch the leadoff hitter Clark in between second and third, catch him in the rundown, and just run at him straight down to get the tag. Great baseball, and now the double play attempt to get out of the inning is alive with Smith on first after the fielder's choice.
Yeah, Danaeff wasn't playing around. He didn't want a pickle to come out of that one, so just handled business as usual and was able to get the tag right there.
Avoiding avoiding the rundown at all costs. You know, it is high school baseball. Errors are definitely possible, but great play. And now we have Colin Fayed 0 for 2 on the day at bat at the plate. Oh, and they're gonna. Oh, and a nice job running by Smith, catching Danaev sleeping. He'll get to second base. Danaev catching him, but obviously the right-handed pitcher, he had to swing around a full 180 to make that throw, and it was a little high, and Tappy unable to make the tag. So right back in the same situation we would have been if they hadn't caught Clark there in that situation. But nonetheless, one down, runner on second base for Fayed, who will swing and miss on that one. 0-1 count to him. This one will be fouled off now. 0-2. Danaev getting ahead of Fayed.
And if Danaev is able to get the out right here, you have to look back at that poor base running by the Spartans and think that it was not only a shot in their own foot, but possibly one that can curtail the entire inning, as that one is grounded towards second base and thrown to first, it looks like. So that's
2 down.
And
interesting you bring up that base running. Honestly, I don't think it'll come back to bite them too much. Obviously, if Danaev didn't come over to get him in the rundown, he would have gone over to first, and we would have had a runner on second with 1 out anyways. But again, yeah, still a fantastic play by Danaev, as the Spartans have a runner on third. 2 down now for Jason Johnson, who is 1 for 2 on the day, singling and scoring the lone run for the Spartans.
yeah, going back to that play by Danaev, sometimes, especially when you're a pitcher, you're going to get caught in that moment and not necessarily know how to react. You're going to get a little excited because you're out there making a field play. So way to stay calm and heady, the senior pitcher. He's come in relief and done a solid job. Pitching overall today for Providence State, they've allowed their fair share of hits, but stepping up when they need to most, as this one is popped up.
Play made by Harry. That'll end this one. Chargers getting out of this inning. No runs off Spartans. Chargers getting out of this one. Spartans no runs off of no hits. Only advancing off of the drop third strike. As we will be back in the bottom of the 5th. Chargers looking to put on 1 run to get the walk-off mercy rule. We will be back on the Providence Day Sports Network. And we are back here, bottom of the 5th, for the Chargers. We have Davis Harry leading off for the Chargers. The senior here coming into this at-bat, 1 for 2 on the day, would strike out and get a very big double, a huge double over the left fielder's head in the second. So that'll be in there for strike 1.
And important to note for Harry, he's only had 2 at-bats the entire season, and so he's coming up here right now for his 3rd at-bat of the game, getting a little extra run for senior night and capitalizing as he makes contact with that one.
That one down the line, that'll be just foul. A little bit ahead of that one, but man, Imagine Davis Harry on his senior night, 2 extra base hits down the line with only 2 at bats on the year coming into today. But as you were saying, Jonah, yeah, a guy not getting too much experience, really stepping up with a huge hit. Definitely a morale booster in the Jim Serby Charger home dugout. He will chase this one in the dirt. He will be down for the strikeout, swinging his second of the day as Nickelfield steps up 0 for 1 on the day.
And this is a good opportunity for Gaston Day if they want to keep this game alive. They had the 2 bottom hitters, Harry and Fields, and if they're able to get 2 outs here, that could be very helpful towards their cause of living to see another inning.
Yeah, again, huge thing for relief pitchers stepping in the game is confidence. Obviously, anybody can go in there and pitch. Coaches will sometimes bring guys who have maybe even thrown 1 bullpen during practice throughout the year. But if you can get in there and get your first guys out, whether it's the cleanup batter with the bases loaded or the 9 hitter with nobody on base, just getting those first outs be really key to setting up a good outing in relief, and that's exactly what Johnson did, stepping up in here and throwing. I think he's working in his 3rd or 4th inning here. Fantastic work. As Fields will swing and miss on this one, 0-2. Interesting. My guess, you can check the stats here, Jonah. My guess is that Johnson is the Spartans' other starting pitcher, but they just realized that they needed him in this moment versus another game later on the week, as Fields will go down swinging his 2nd strikeout of the day.
And yeah, when you actually look at the box score of this game, you're going to see the 10 runs in the 2nd inning for sure. But besides that, this game has been played pretty neck and neck in that sense, given the fact that the Chargers got majority, almost, I think, in all their runs within 1 frame. So a really good job by Johnson. It just becomes an issue of possibly being too little too late, as the offense for the Spartans are unable to make some sort of furious comeback, which is quite difficult in the game of baseball when you're down double digits.
First pitch to Brindley in there for strike 1. Brindley is 0 for 3 on the day so far, scoring off of a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning, as he will line this one up. The shortstop shading back, Johnson, the younger brother to the pitcher Harrison Johnson, will make the catch as we head to the top of the 6th. Another inning of baseball here. Chargers unable to hold on to that mercy rule lead from the 2nd, as we will be back. Jonah, you got anything?
Yeah, I do. That was beautiful defense right there. Beautiful pitching from the Spartans. A quick 1-2-3 going against the 8-9-1 hitter for the Chargers, getting the strikeout on Nickel Fields. Then the pop-up from Will Brindley, and the first one, Davis Harry, striking out as well. So Johnson getting better as the innings go on and providing some stability we thought not possible for this team given the 10-run 2nd inning. But here we are, getting ready to enter the top of the 6th. Providence stays still up to the tune of 10-1, but a much more competitive game than the score indicates.
Yeah, no runs off of no hits, 3 ups, 3 down, no runs off of no hits, no walks, no errors, as we will be back. Chargers lead this one 10-1 with the top of the 6th inning. First pitch in there to Brett Presley. That'll be high for ball 1. Presley 0 for 2 on the game so far. Danae still on the mound. That'll be in there for a strike. A nice pitch.
And all of a sudden, the pitchers, Johnson and Dunave, dueling a little bit, dueling and dealing right now, as The hot bats from both squads have kind of tapered off a bit here at the top of the sixth. Dunave now working with an 0-2 count, trying to get a strikeout at the top of this penultimate inning here, as there are only 7 in the high school ranks. And that was very close to being a strike, but the ump is going to give that one a ball just a bit outside to the right.
2-1 count to Presley.
And with that, that will be the strikeout that Dunave was looking for, as a quick out to start the top of the sixth. And Dunave has come in relief of Bo Ziegler, who by no means was having a bad game, but carrying the momentum right now that Ziegler left with and possibly doing a little bit better. Dunave coming in and throwing some very nice pitches right now for the Chargers.
Be in there for ball 1. Charles Halig, 1 for 2 on the day. Got a single and will ground out to the second baseman. We got Tyler Nee warming up in the bullpen for the Chargers now.
And partner, as we've mentioned earlier in this game, for those of you who are not with us, one of the biggest issues in this Chargers roster has been the lack of depth in the pen. And tonight, Dunave has come in and pitched a very solid game. And if Tyler Nee is able to take relief of him and close this one out, it would be a nice step in the right direction for Providence Day in their relief pitching, because that served as a huge woe against them in their game against Charlotte Christian, in which they lost by 11 runs.
Yeah, I mean, Dunave just giving up the walk to Halig, with Elijah Pomeroy stepping up now. But very, very interesting seeing Tyler Nee warming up in the bullpen. He is one of the relief pitchers for the Chargers. Obviously, a sophomore on varsity, was a freshman on varsity for his third baseman abilities and his hitting abilities. But he can step in and pitch, and his ERA in the book's pretty high right now, basically because he's come in for mop-up duty, you know, in those games where the Chargers just need to get outs to avoid that mercy rule, or to get outs late in the games that they're down by pretty sizable leads to good hitting teams. But he's also had some good pitching appearances in their win versus the Carolina Royals, and also in their close loss versus the Carmel Christian Cougars. Tyler Nee's had some good pitching appearances, so we will see Dunave the 1-0 count. This will be popped in the air, fouled back. 1-2 count, my mistake, to Pomeroy. One down with a runner on first here.
And yeah, given the situation, runner on first, 2 strikes, very favorable situation for Dunave. Can either get the ground out, which could possibly lead to the double play, or the strikeout. So gonna need an extra base hit, most likely, if you are Pomeroy.
Looking for that double play. Tappy gonna hold it, flip over to one. A fantastic play to get the out at first. Nice scoop, the pickup, and immediately getting the ball over to first. 2 down now with a runner on second base.
And that's a really smart decision on the fly by Tappy. He knew that the runner on first going to second was going to most likely get there, so he didn't try to force a double play, and made a very excellent throw, contorting his body and slinging it over to Will Brindley at first, able to get at least 1 out, which is really all the Chargers need. You can give up a couple of runs if you're trying to hold on to this game. You're up 9, so a very heady play by the senior.
And this will be popped up. Tappy making another play there, as we will get out of the top of the 6th. And once again, we're going to be going in the bottom of the 6th here. Chargers looking for that 1 run to walk it off for the mercy rule. Jonah?
Yeah, just another solid defensive inning. And after these teams came out, bats ablaze, kind of hitting a lot more than they are in the latter portions of this game. It seems that the relief pitchers, Johnson and Dunave, have been indicators of how both of these teams have settled down on the defensive side of the ball. And with that, it gives the Chargers an opportunity to get that pseudo walk-off here on senior night, and the night that Jim Serby, coach of the Chargers, had the dugout named after him. So looking forward to a nice bottom inning and possibly more baseball to be played after that.
Yep, Chargers, Spartans scoring no runs off of No hits, 1 walk, and no errors. And we will be back with the bottom of the 6th. Chargers lead this one 10-1. Alrighty, first pitch in there to Brad Rivera. Again, the Arsonist College commit for the Chargers. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Again, not a great hitting season for him so far. I'm sure his bat will turn on. A very talented hitter for the Chargers, as that will be in there for strike 1. Now 1-1 count now for Rivera.
You know, as you were saying, just Rivera's cold streak is not indicative of how talented of a ball player he is. He, once again, is the lone committed player from the senior class of this 9 senior group to play baseball at the next level. And not to mention, he is the only senior on this team to get 4 years letterman on varsity. So the talent is there, and he's just not seeing the ball too well right now in this game. But as you're saying, he is 100% going to turn the bat on as this season gets deeper and deeper into the schedule. And here is Rivera right now, slapping that one into the outfield. Good contact, but right into the glove of the center fielder, giving the Spartans their first out of the inning.
Yeah, it's worth saying for Rivera. Obviously, you know, he's had a slow start to the year with the bat, but it's really been great to see. He's definitely the senior leader there as a center fielder. You know, in that really nice defensive play by Adam Donaev, it was Brad who was out there yelling, "Hey, check at the runner, check at the runner." You know, so just, you know, he's leading the defense and leading the guys in the dugout, and that's as valuable as having a 100-point increase to your batting average. So
yeah, I mean,
now up.
Yeah, he's labeled as the captain on all of our score sheets, and that's not typically something that happens in the sport of baseball where there's a formal captain like that. So that's just really a show of how indispensable he is to this team. And once he gets that bat going, which he will, his defensive prowess and leadership abilities are all going to tie together and hopefully lift this Charger team from their record right now into some postseason contention.
Yeah, and 1-1 count now to Donaev. It'll be interesting to see where this Charger team does in the playoffs. You know, they've been on the cusp of making that state finals a couple years in a row now. Obviously, losing some of that talent with John Moralia now pitching for NC State and Colin Raven now playing catcher for Denison. No longer on the roster, but they've been flirting with that state title for a while now. It'll be interesting to see where they end up this year, but, you know, making the state semifinals a couple years back and looking to have a good season last year, but, you know, a very experienced leadership-filled team. Be interesting to see how they do as Donaev will pop out to the first baseman. Colin Quinlan steps up. Quinlan is 1 for 1 on the day with a couple walks. And Johnson having a fantastic outing here. I don't believe Johnson has given up a single hit, just advancing off of an error and a walk and 5 strikeouts. Very good pitching from Johnson, as first pitch will be a low for ball 1 to Quinlan.
Yeah, Johnson has been dealing since he's come in, and obviously the situations in which he came in were not ideal, and unfortunately for the Spartans, his great effort has not really translated into clawing back into this one. That being said, that does not diminish his personal performance, which has been superb up to this point, and with 2 outs early in the bottom of the 6th, it looks like, barring any major spurt of offense for the Chargers, we could be getting that 7th inning.
Be in there 2-1 to Quinlan. 2-1 count to Quinlan. Again, another senior leader. I don't know if he received a varsity letter for his freshman year, but he's gotten some backup catcher experience in the playoffs for the Chargers, I believe all 4 years of high school. But again, a very useful, very versatile Charger catcher behind the plate. As he will get a clean base hit. That'll be the first hit off of Johnson today. Fantastic hitting, teeing it up, pulling that to the left side of the field. Be his second hit of the day as I believe Cody Gallos steps up. Gallos struck out in the 4th inning. He could potentially, and Gallos could potentially walk this one off with a shot into the gap. I believe we got Channing Goodwin, the speedy courtesy runner, on base for Quinlan. Obviously catching, he gets a courtesy runner. As it'll be inside for ball 1 to Gallos.
Yeah, and as the sun is setting down over here a little bit on Murdoch Field, shadows of the tall trees behind field, serving us some nice lighting for these players right now, because you know that there's a little bit of glare earlier on when the sun is just right above, as that'll be another ball, I believe. And as we were mentioning earlier, great grass, great weather. It's a beautiful day for baseball, and it has been a very nice game here for the Chargers, up 10-1.
3-0 now to Gallos. It's worth mentioning for the Chargers, a couple of their games, home games, we do not have lights on our fields here at Murdoch Field. So a couple of our games have been called due to lack of sunlight. I think the sun's still setting to a point where we've got some room here as Gallos is on base with a walk. I think we have some time here for that to happen. We still have a lot of time before we get to that point, but 2 runners on for the Chargers now. Winning run in scoring position for the senior Grayson Tappy. But it's worth keeping our eye out on that, as 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th.
And this is one of the moments that, although it's in the high school level, you dream about this as a baseball player. 2 outs, possibility to walk off, and
that should be it.
Yeah, that right there, Grayson Tappy very calmly and subtly able to get that base hit, and it looks like
that should be the baseball game.
Yeah,
Jake Jeffries running on second for Quinlan instead of Channing Goodwin, but he will score. Umpires will signal that this one is a mercy rule, and game is in the books. A very solid win on senior night for the Chargers. Always love to see that happy. Grayson Tappy with the pseudo walk-off. His 3rd hit of the day. I think we ought to say that he is today's player of the game for the Chargers. 3 for 4, 4 RBIs, a huge double to score the Chargers' first run of the game and their last. So fantastic outing by Tappy. Jonah, you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I think that this game was, as I said before, a lot more competitive than the box score will show. You'll see the stats and you'll say, oh my goodness gracious, how did the Chargers get 10 runs in 1 inning? But then you look at all the other innings, especially in which Johnson came in relief for the Spartans, and they were able to hold their own, as really the score was 1-0 outside of that 1 inning. So a great showing there in the Chargers in the second, and a great game by Grayson Tappy, able to close this one out, both with the earlier hits to spark plug the Chargers offense, and with that walk-off right there. And Providence Day getting some momentum and rebounding off of a very bad loss against Charlotte Christian, looking to go into the month of April with some momentum and just an overall great day of baseball here. Happy to be bringing it to everyone with you, partner Adam Lawrence. And really quick, let's give a shout out to all the people behind the scenes. We have our crew manager by my side, Carter Craig. We have working down at the field, none other than Theodore Katz. He's been relaying all the strike and ball calls. So we're a team up here too, and really just a nice day of baseball, beautiful weather, great batting, some great pitching, and a Chargers victory to cap it off.
Yeah, so that'll be it here from the Providence Day Sports Network. I believe the Chargers play again on Friday here at Murdoch Field. They might have another game this week, but our next stream here on the Providence Day Sports Network will be Friday. The Chargers, a fantastic game. Seniors coming up with some big hits. Davis Harry, Colin Quinlan, Grayson Tappy, big hits for the Chargers as they get the win here on senior night. Nothing better than that. And we will wrap things up. Thank you for tuning into the Providence Day Sports Network, and have a good night.